Hello, scientists. My name is Mr. Shiva, and I am a science teacher with Kansas City Public Schools. Today, we're going to talk about life science. In this episode, we will be learning about an incredible process called photosynthesis. That's why I have this nice and green, beautiful plants around me. After this video lesson, you will be able to describe the process of photosynthesis and explain what materials are needed for photosynthesis to occur. Also, you will create your very own photosynthesis diagram with the labels and summarize the lesson. Why don't you go ahead and grab a notebook or loose paper and something to write with, and let's get started.
Okay, guys, let's talk about photosynthesis. You probably already know that all living things need energy to grow and survive. Energy gives us a power to do things. But how wild animals get food? Think about it. Can they make their own food? No. They need to eat other living organisms. Look at this slide, guys, I have created for you. Look at photos and pictures, different kind of animals. How do they get their food? Some of them eat other animals, right? And we call them carnivores. The others eat plants, and we call them herbivores. And some eat plants and other animals, and we call them omnivores. So guys, if you pay attention to the picture right there, and you see jumping kids, yes, humans are omnivores. We eat both plants and animals. But what about plants? How do plants get the food? Well, photosynthesis. Plants actually produce their own or make their own food through the process called photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means combining. How does photosynthesis take place? Well, everything starts with a source of energy, sun. The process always begins when the energy from light is absorbed by proteins called chloroplasts in the leaves of the plants. Chloroplasts contain green pigments called chlorophyll. Look at this photo, which shows you cells of the plants, and you see this green substance. So that's a chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is what actually give all plants green color. So I can show you, for example, a cell plan, the model of the cell plan right here. And they're all organelles, and right here and right here, you see a chlorophyll. Oh, that's an interesting slide I decided to add for you guys. Fun fact. Look at this huge, huge leaf. Did you know that largest leaves grown on the Amazon water lily? In a single year, the plant will produce leaves of more than 2 meters across. Well, you can see that 2 kids can easily lay on it, actually. Chlorophyll uses the sun energy to convert gas, carbon dioxide, and water into energy in form of glucose. This is a food for plants, and glucose is a type of sugar. Again, materials are needed for photosynthesis: sun energy, carbon dioxide, and water. Through the photosynthesis process, oxygen released as a waste product, and we use this oxygen to breathe. We need oxygen. We cannot survive without oxygen. And just imagine, guys, if all plants are extinct, disappear, gone, do you think we will be able to survive?
In the science, we use diagrams to illustrate any kind of process. So look at my diagram. I want you to create something similar. It does not have to be a flower. It can be a grass. It can be a tree, a bush, whatever you come up with, any kind of plant. So the process of photosynthesis starts with the sun. Sun gives out the sunlight, which is absorbed by the leaves of the plant. Also, the second ingredient for photosynthesis process is carbon dioxide, and finally water. So on the exit, we actually getting oxygen, which is a waste during photosynthesis process. And the plant stores a glucose, which is energy, which means food. If you guys see on this side of my diagram, you see like little person with a happy face. It means this person is happy because of the oxygen available. So plants are so important on our earth because they produce oxygen.
Okay, scientists, let's look at the real plant. So you all know all plants have roots. Roots are anchored to the soil, and through them the plants absorb water and minerals. Water with minerals are transported up the stem of the plant, reaching the leaves. The leaves are full of tiny pores called stomata, which absorb carbon dioxide from the air around. Now it's a chlorophyll turn. The chlorophyll in the leaves has all necessary ingredients for photosynthesis to take place. When it receives the sunlight, the process begins, and my plant starts making its own food, glucose. Plants also store their food in roots, for example, like a carrot, or in their fruits, like a pear or apple. Well, guys, photosynthesis releases oxygen as a waste product, and we all need oxygen from air to stay alive. Without plants, guys, there would be no life on the earth. There would be no oxygen to breathe or food to feed on. You're very important. All right, scientists, here's a homework. Comprehension questions. What is photosynthesis? I am sure you already know the answer. Name 3 things necessary for photosynthesis to occur, and what do you think would happen if plants became extinct? It means die out, gone. Make sure you use full sentences when you answer those questions.
You did a great job today, scientists. We have learned a lot. Let's summarize it. Today, we learned what is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process through which plants make their own food, right? Yeah. We also can explain what materials are needed for photosynthesis. Do you remember? They are sun energy, sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. We also created a diagram to show how the photosynthesis works and label it, of course. Fantastic job. Thank you so much for being with me, and I'll see you next week.